Africa is great. I did energy access some 15 years back, so I know the challenges and, of course, the potential. When we first did energy access investments was still the philanthropic model, but now the market has matured, so again, great presentation as well. Our presentation is the Explorer.land template. We didn't know that we can have our own design, but it's still the same content, and I think that you're going to like it. A little bit about myself. I'm very honored to be chairman of the board of Generation Forest Invest. Generation Forest Invest was one of my investments 10 years back on behalf of a client in Switzerland. And of course, since I've been very close to the group and the organization, we decided that I'm going to jump in a more operational, more active role to help it scale up. My background goes, as mentioned already, 20 years back. I was one of the early movers as an investment manager in the sustainability segment. Started with the Brenningmeier family. A couple of people might know that back then, early days, talking about clean tech investments and facilitating the transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy infrastructure. Everybody thought that we're crazy, but at the end of the day, we put the basis for this industry to develop. The same happened with reforestation and conservation. We would like today, I think we have a little video that's coming in, is that correct? It's not, I'm gonna go ahead. The history of Generation Forest Invest goes back 25 years. From two pioneers, Andreas Eike and Ileana Armien in Panama, who are considered today to be pioneers in what they're doing, reforestation, conservation, and of course, very knowledgeable people, very passionate about what they're doing. And that's why I'm honored also to be part of that group today next to my investment activities. The Generation Forest group, we call it a group because there are different entities inside this, different sister companies, is actually doing biodiverse reforestation and CO2 sequestration in the tropics. And we have heard a lot about reforestation. I've seen a lot of reforestation funds, project managers, etc. But what is differently done here, and this is what I want you to keep from that presentation, is three main innovation points. And these three main innovation points go around first, the very concept itself. It is a generation forest. It is a perpetual forest. It's an evergreen forest. It's a forest that can be profitable, that is profitable at scale. The difference with a plantation, as we know it, which is a limited project in terms of timing, so does it cycle, you issue the CO2 certificates, and then the project dies, is exactly that very perpetual nature. So we're building forests for the next 100 years. And strangely enough, that's the second innovation point of the business concept, is that the economics make sense. And the economics make sense because we're able to sequester at least 3 times more CO2 compared to the best nature-based solution project, which is mixed species in a forest. It's the perpetual nature of the project that allows that, but also at the same time, we had revamped the structure in a way to maximize the cost efficiencies. So when we're talking about innovation, it's also on the structure side. The third point of innovation in the group is the different entities that we have inside that group. The one is where I'm chairman of the board, and it's a Dutch holding that is pooling money and investors. I don't know why we went there, we shouldn't. That is pooling money and investors, institutional probably and more professional investors. We have 25 million in the structure today. The second one, which is of great interest, and that's the reason that I'm standing on that stage today, is the cooperative in Germany. It's a Genossenschaft in German, as we use the word. It's cooperative. And the cooperative is a little bit more the retail approach of what we're doing. It's a people's movement. It is, I would say, democratizing impact investing, democratizing reforestation. It gives you, me, everybody the possibility to invest in forests, which was until recently only the advantage of the big families in Germany that were investing in the Black Forest, or today the advantage, the option that a lot of big institutional investors have. We were surprised with the success of the Generation Forest Cooperative in Germany over the years. They managed to raise 24 million in a couple of years from 6,000 members, individuals like you and I, from 30 different countries. And it's not a philanthropic activity. People don't give their money to Generation Forest Invest as they give to WWF, for example. They're buying the shares, they're becoming members. I had a lot of friends now in Christmas, they're working in different banks or, wherever they do. And they say, like, instead of Christmas cards or instead of buying Christmas presents, we're going to buy shares, membership shares here for our kids. This is a couple of the numbers that show the success. Of course, the biggest success is not in the numbers, it's how much forest we have financed. So the cooperative by itself, not even the other sister companies in the group, has financed 1,445 hectares and of course reforested approximately 800 hectares. For the few years that the cooperative exists, this is a massive amount. If we would project the scale and if it would increase at the same rate, then we can talk about thousands of hectares that can be reforested. What I said at the beginning, the difference in the concept is reforestation at scale, profitable reforestation at scale. And of course, a CO2 storage number of 15,820 tons per year. The numbers are a success. What we feel our biggest success is on the impact side. And on the impact side, it's the reforested land, the environmental impact, of course, but also on the social side with the families that we're employing, the trainings that we're doing, the collaboration that we have with indigenous communities. And I would love to send you, if you're interested, our 2021 impact report where we have summarized the necessary KPIs of the activities from all the companies in the group. The cooperative, the Generation Forest Invest, has challenges, of course, when we do that on the field. It was a standard slide from Explorer.land, and we said, okay, yes, we're going to list some challenges, but not the ones that people would expect, like we have problems in opening the roads in such countries, or making the fincas, the land pieces, accessible, which is part of the investment on the operational challenge that we have. I think our biggest challenge, we were thinking about the challenges, what are the challenges when we do that, is the need to scale in an unprecedented way. We discuss about that in impact investing as well. And we discuss about that in impact investing because we say, it's wonderful. We go to the NOAH conference, we go to the impact conferences, we're all impact investors or impact entrepreneurs, we're sustainability experts. We see a lot of people, we tap each other on the back and we say, like, we grew 100% since last year, amazing. But if you talk to the mainstream investors out there, they don't even know what impact investing is. So if we have any chance to fulfill the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by 2030 or 40 even, then we need trillions per year and we need scale. So here we have developed with Generation Forest Invest a business model that can actually be scaled up. And this is not an assumption. We're doing that today already. Operational scaling challenges, of course. The challenge of the availability of land versus the availability of funding, extremely important. Increasing land prices, investor education around our concept. Those are the challenges that we have today. Not so much the common on-site challenges or opening the roads. I think this is what I would list, but we are managing it well as it is. We were asked to present one project today. This is on our project card. We have 278 hectare project is one of these pieces here. It's part of a 1,250 hectare project that can be financed with 30 million investment, including the land acquisition. in the Darien area in Panama, which we have also the best deal flow. Somebody's laughing there. Would love to hear your comments and your questions after that. And of course, one of its characteristics is it's adjacent to the Crosswell Water Reserve. Now, former cattle land, this is our strategy. We're buying destroyed land. We're reforesting that in the best possible way with a biodiversity angle that is very strong, not implantation. And that's a very nice figure here, how it starts the different generations of forest, of trees. This is a thinning activity. We'll never cut down the forest, but we will thin it, and that of course brings an additional income. And it needs to be thinned so that it can breathe, so that it can grow quicker. And of course, the durable forest, and somewhere in between here, with a different cash flow profile, we have the CO2 certificate sales that are coming in. This is the numbers that you will get if you buy 10 shares from the cooperative. So 10 tons of CO2 compensation, 5,000 square meters of new forest, permanent jobs, biodiversity, healthy soil, groundwater, and a 4.5% yield. I'm looking at the time, I'm behind. This is the financial outlook of one share in the cooperative you're going to buy. The membership options are starting at €100 per month, subscription, 500 packages, 1,000 euro packages if the individuals like us want to sequester their CO2 footprint. I will close with our monitoring exercise. So of course, this is a very small summary. We're working with wildlife camera traps and forest growth monitoring. We're very proud about the impact profile of the strategy. We're working with these different organizations. Thank you very much. This is the whole team, part of the whole team actually on the ground. And as you can see, it's local Panamanians, but also a lot of indigenous people that are working in their natural environment, which is the forest. Thank you very much.